Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Lecture 8, Nutrition and Cancer. Factors can cause cancer: age, alcohol, cancer-causing substances, chronic inflammation, diet, hormones, immune suppression, infectious agent, obesity, radiation, sunlight and tobacco. احنا اللي يهمنا شنو؟ راح ناخذ الدايت. Dietary components for possible association. نقول possible association with cancer risk includes. عندي مادة كيميائية يسموها acrylamide. Acrylamide, it is a chemical substance found in tobacco smoke and some foods. It can produce when certain vegetables such as potato are heating to high temperature. Studies in animal models have found that acrylamide exposure increases the risk of the certain and several types of cancer. Acrylamide, the body is converting to compound called glycimate, which causes a mutation and damage to the DNA. Levels of acrylamide in the food depending on manufacture, المصنع, the cooking time, the method of the temperature of the cooking process. Decreasing cooking time to avoid heavy crisping or browning, blanching potatoes before frying, هاي كلها تأثر عليها. No storing of the potato in refrigerator and post-drying. Drying in a hot oven after frying has been shown decrease the acrylamide content of some food. يعني بعد ما أنا سويتها وبروسست cooking للبوتيتو أرجع أسويها تحمية إلها، فالأكريلاميد سبستنس تروح تقل. كالسيوم. Research results over support of relationship between higher intake of calcium and reduced risk of colorectal carcinoma. Some research suggests that high calcium intake يعني increase and recommended or daily recommended intake may increase the risk of a prostate cancer. Fluoride in water helps to prevent and can even refuse and reserve tooth decay. Many studies in both the human and animals have shown no association between fluorinated of the water and cancer risk. احنا شاهدنا انه الفلوريديتد of water can cause cancer، ده يقول لك لا لحد الان ما ثابته هاي. فيتامين دي epidemiological studies in a human have suggested that higher intake of vitamin D or higher levels of D in the blood may be associated to reduce the colorectal carcinoma. احنا كلها أكثر بها suggestion وبها improved. Energy. Physical activity can reduce cancer. High energy intake can cause colon cancer in the male and breast cancer in female. Large body mass index and obesity can cause GIT cancer. Fat. High intake of saturated fatty acid can cause breast cancer, colon and prostate cancer. Protein studies found أنه intake of protein mostly of red meat and red meat can cause colon cancer, prostate cancers, deficiency amino acid, decrease of the tumor. شافوا أنه التيومر تتغذى على الأمينو أسيدز، فالإنتيك الريد ميت والأمينو أسيدز عالي عنده، يعني can support الكانسر cells. Carbohydrate. High intake of starchy food can cause pancreatic cancer. High intake of fibers range from 20 grams per day have protect measures against breast, ovaries and GIT cancer. Fruit and vegetables. Usefulness. الفائدة مالتها it is a good source of fibers, vitamins, minerals with low energy. Have antioxidant effect because contains of vitamin A with E و C and block the activity of the chemicals known as the free radicals which damage of the cell and damage of the DNA. Also contains the phytochemicals as found in the carotenoid, جماعة the flavonoid المطيبات, plant sterol اللي هو additive, nutritive additive, have anti-carcinogenic effects. Also contains lignin اللي هي شنو؟ substance carrying of zinc. بالنسبة للأنتي أوكسيدانتس Most of the phytochemicals have antioxidant actions. أنا حكينا عندنا خلصنا الكونتينز مالتها اللي هي الانتي اوكسيدنت والسو كونتينت الفايتوكيميكالز. فالفايتوكيميكالز هاي الماده هي كيميكال سبستنسز موجوده بالكارتينويد والفلافينويد والبلانت ستيرولز. also carcinogenic. شنو هو الفانكشن مالتها؟ لانه انتي اوكسيدنت. most phytochemicals have antioxidant activity, protect our cells against oxidative damage and can use this of developing of the certain type of cancers. phytochemicals with antioxidant activity. شنو هي الاكتيفيتي مالتها؟ ليش تصيرتها؟ منه الاليل سلفايد موجوده بالاونيون بالبصل والجارليك الثوم والليكس والكاروتينويد مجموعه الكاروتين والفروت والفليفونويد من طيبات الفروت موجوده بالفيجيتابلز. والبوليفينول من موجود بالتي اند جريبس. الهرمونال اكشن مالتها contain phytoestrogen particles that decreases sex hormones cancers وبها isoflavones find in the soybean and peanut emanate or initiate a human estrogen and help reduce menopausal substance and osteoporosis. الفانكشن الآخر مال الفايتوكيميكالز اللي هو stimulation of enzymes. الاندولز يسموها مادة الموجودة مجموعة الاندولز which are found in cabbage مجموعة القرنابيط والشلغم والملفوف. stimulate enzymes that make the estrogen less effective and could reduce the risk of breast cancer. Other phytochemicals which interfere with enzymes are protease inhibitors, soybean and peanuts, turnips, citrus, والفروت and cherries. Interference with DNA replication. كوش يسموها saponins find in the beans interfere with replication of DNA, thereby preventing the multiplication of cancer cells. الكابساسين found in the hot peppers. هذا الفلفل الحار كابساسين hot peppers protect DNA from the carcinogens. antibacterial effect. the phytochemicals المادة اللي هي يسموها الاليسين form garlic in its form of the garlic has antibacterial properties. garlic يعني الثوم. physical action. شنو مالتها المفعولة؟ اكو عندنا physical action. some phytochemicals bind physically to cell walls and thereby preventing the adhesions of the pathogens to human cells wall. find in soybean peanut. also الكرانبيريز والتشيريز والابل. and vegetables موجودة أيضا بالكولي فلاور اللي هو القرنابيط والكاباج الملفوف والكاروت والبروكلي. It is recommended to take daily at least 4 to 5 serving of the fruit and vegetables. لهذا نقول دائما أنه عندنا الفروت vegetables 4 to 5 serving per day. اكو عندي مادة يسموها الكروسيفيرس فيجيتابلز هي نفس الكاباج والكالي فلاور والكالي والجارليك كريس الجاردن كريس والبوك تشوي والبروكلي. هاي contains chemicals known as glucosinolate which break down into several compounds that is studied for the possible anti-carcinogenic effects. Some of these compounds have shown anti-carcinogenic in the cell and in the animal. And الكحول a small amount intake it is a protective measure but high amount intake for a long period of time can cause cancer, liver cirrhosis and so on. For cause cancer of GIT أكثر شيء GIT lung, liver, breast and larynx cancer. It is maybe due to increased endogenous estrogen and reducing of the folic acid level in the blood which is important with DNA of the cell. It is metabolized in the breast والمادة التمثيل يكون بالبريست بالنسبة للألكحول لهذا it is related with the breast cancer. Tea and coffee, green tea intake in regular amount can decrease of stomach cancer. The tea contains مادة يسموها البوليفينول compounds particularly الكاتاكينز هي اسمها الكاتاكين which are antioxidant agent. فإذا التي be antioxidant agent. For hot drinking increase the risk of the pharynx esophageal cancer. شافوا أنه جنوب شرق آسيا معظمهم يشربون الشراب حار hot، فلهذا كان related with esophageal and larynx cancer. Coffee and tea have no association with cancer. ما ثبت أنه لها علاقة بالكانسر. Artificial sweeteners نحكي إحنا artificial not nutritive مو طبيعية. Studies has found a significant increase in bladder cancer الحقيقة with rat with intake of the cyclamide. هي موجودة فيها food additive بين مادة السايكلاميد. This is found in saccharin but is not found in aspartame. bladder cancer in rat حتى لا تنسوها. Nitrous amine هي مادة chemical substances that is a highly carcinogenous effect found in tobacco and nitrates found in fruits and vegetables and sodium potassium for salting. يعني من أسوي طعام قدده بالملح والsalting يصير هذا النيترس أمين تصير effective. Using in canned food الطعام المعلب الميت الهوت دوغ اللانشونز give pink color that can change to rose and nitrous amine in saliva, stomach, colon, bladder. High intake processed meat can cause GIT cancer. تحضير الطعام. Food preparation. High heat cooking of the food as grills بالجرلز بالباربيكيوز والسموكينج المدخن البراولينج can increase GIT cancer formation of aromatic hydrocarbon. High salted diet increases stomach cancer cause control study في دراسات case control. Processed food that are high in sugar and low in fibers and nutrients have been linked to high cancer risk. Particular researchers has found that a diet that causes a blood glucose level to spike and associated with increase of several cancers, including stomach, breast, and colorectal cancers. One study over 47,000 adults find that those who consumed a diet high in refined carbohydrate السكريات المكررة were almost twice as likely to die from colon cancer than those are with diet of low in refined carbohydrates. It is thought that higher level of blood glucose and insulin are cancer risk factors. Insulin has been shown to stimulate cell division, supporting the growth and spread of the cancer cells and making them more difficult to eliminate. Risk of colorectal carcinoma is 22 highly percent than among diabetic persons. Processed meat. It is a carcinogenic, sometimes causes cancer. Processed meat refers to a meat that has been treated with a preserved flavor, undergoing salting, curing, or smoking. It includes the hot dog, the ham, the bacon, the kurzi, salami, some deli meats. كلها المعلبة. Observational studies have found an association between consuming processed meat and an increase in cancer risk, particularly colorectal carcinoma. A large review of studies found people who are or ate large amount of processed meat had 20 to 50% increase of colorectal carcinoma اللي هو كلها اللحم المعلب. Overcooked food يعني الطهي اللي أكثر من الاعتيادي. Overcooking of the food. Overcooked food and cooking certain foods in high temperature such as grilling, frying, broiling and barbecuing can produce harmful compounds يسموها الهيتروسايكليك أمين. هاي الهيتروسايكليك أمين هي هاي مهدرجة وهاي highly dangerous and advanced glycation end product. Aku certain foods such as animal foods high in fat and protein as well as highly processed food are most likely to produce these harmful compounds نفس الهيتروسايكليك amines produce harmful compounds subjected to a high temperature. These include meat, particularly red meat شوف ايش قد دلح عليه certain cheeses, fried eggs, بتر مارجرين همين أيضا الهيتروسايكليك أمين كلها المهدرجة يسموها. avoid margarine, cream cheese, mayonnaise, oil and nuts. To minimize cancer risk, avoid burning food and choose gentle cooking method, especially when cooking of the meat. أحسن شيء steaming, stewing or boiling. أفضل من الجريل واللي تكون براولينج and so. الديري. Several observational studies ملاحظات دراسات مع الملاحظات have indicated that high dairy consuming may increase the risk of a prostate cancer. may يعني دراسات وبائية و observational studies لاحظوا أنه اللي ياخذ dairy contains a compound amount prostate cancer راح يزيد عنده طبعا هاي بالمية. خلصنا بالنسبة للدايت and cancer. أخذنا فقط اللي هي اللي food related and can cause cancer. عندنا هسه programs to avoid and decrease of منو عندنا iron deficiency والكويتر وفيتامين A والdiabetes. هاي programs screening programs نسويها دائما حتى نتخلص من الديزيز. At the iron deficiency program applied before 3 decades, the goal to reduce 10% بالديكيد 2000 إلى أن وراها 10 سنين later and كل 10 سنين later ينزل لي شنو 10%. فينزل من 41 إلى 40 إلى 31 ونزله الحقيقة كان. عندنا 71 million have goiter and 167 million undergoing to goiter. شنو البرنسبلز مالتنا؟ iodization of salt اللي هسه حاليا احنا كل السولت مالتنا كله هو مدعوم باليود. health education about important of the شنو intake of iodized salts. شنو الفائدة؟ عندي iodized salts ما استخدمه، فإذا نقول health education والمائدة اللي هو بالمائدة اللي هو مو boiling أفضل شيء يبقى يحافظ على الأيودين موجود به. The intake of seafood, avoid of glycogenic substance. السيفود أكثر شيء الطعام البحري وليس النهري. substance بالترنب وبروكلي وكاباج احنا ذكرناها، هاي قلنا خلي نحطها بمادة حارة مي حار حتى توخر مادة الجليكوجينيك substance. diabetes mellitus program screening for risk group. الريسك جروب منو هذولا؟ عندنا pre diabetic risk factors اللي هم during pregnancy صار عندهم diabetes، هم overweight obesity اللي هو glucose tolerance intolerance عندهم، اللي عندهم family history، اللي عندهم hypertension، اللي عندهم obesity، عندهم history of hypercholesterol and so. يعني اكو risk factors هي pre-diabetic risk factors. بعدين health education for proper diet and avoid stress. هذا من diabetic person. establish center to control of the disease. early diagnosis with the proper treatment and avoid complication. بالنسبة للإيرون program give ferrofol tablet after 4 months of the pregnancy prophylactic. give iron supplement during first month of lactation. give iron syrup for children at the first year of school. IEC information, education, communication about intake diet rich with iron. avoid bad habits. chelating agent هو intake tea after meal ومجموعتها. give food fortified with iron for children and infants. If there is 50% of anemia in the community, it is a community problem. Fortification of food with wheat, sugar and rice. Vitamin A control, health education and intake diet rich with vitamin A. give vitamin A capsule 50,000 international unit at 9 month age of the baby and 18 month. give vitamin A capsule اللي هو 100,000 international age 6 years يعني سن المدرسة. give lactating mother vitamin A capsule to 100,000 international units and the month of lactation. شكرا جزيلا.